Well, tomorrow morning, a brand new museum opens up in Washington, D.C.
It is the National Law Enforcement Museum, and here to tell us all about that is Dave Brandt.
Dave is the executive director of the museum. Thank you so much for being with us. This is an exciting time.
Thank you, Scott and Kara. Yes, it is an exciting day. Saturday's a big day, a 20-year journey culminating in our grand opening, public opening.
And I understand this is really the first museum of its kind where we're going to really get to walk through it and kind of feel a day in the life of law enforcement, really understand what goes on.
Absolutely, nothing like it, unprecedented. When you think about law enforcement, everybody has a different impression. Most people really don't understand law enforcement. They have no real sense of the breadth and scope of what law enforcement does, supporting each and every one of us as citizens. What this museum will do for our visitors is capture a bit of that in the daily lives of a law enforcement professional, what he or she does, some of the tools they use, the impact they have, a true walk in the shoes experience. Additionally, we're going to have programs, educational programs, awareness programs, conversations with senior law enforcement officials, community representatives, where we address issues of the day and truly serve as a platform to strengthen the ties between the law enforcement community and the citizens they serve.
Dave, I know at some of the museums in D.C. they actually have live curators, that are going to be walking through. Are we going to actually get to interface with law enforcement officials?
Absolutely. We have curators on staff. We have over 20,000 artifacts, a couple of which are Connecticut-based. We have a medal from the 20th Connecticut State Police Convention. We have badges from Connecticut corrections officers, Hartford and Portland police officers. Those types of artifacts represented in our museum truly tell the history of law enforcement. Our curators, our tour guides, our volunteers will all be here on a daily basis to help our visitors understand some of the significance of those artifacts.
I understand it's going to be right near the National Mall, and there's so many different museums to see and go to. Tell us, maybe if we come to your museum, I think Connecticut people will be interested, what would be a great thing, like a must-see? There must be so many exhibits. What do you recommend for kids, something that would be really fun to go see?
Well, all of it is a must-see. I'll start from there. When you say kids, I think kids will immediately be attached to our canine exhibit, where we have the story of how police dogs literally are trained, how they're selected, how they're recruited from the litters that they are born into, and what truly the important role of canine officers and their canine police dogs play. Kids will love that. Secondly, we have an exhibit referred to as the Web of Law Enforcement, which is, in some basic terms, it's a series of bubbles that the visitor will touch, and each time you touch a bubble, they link to literally a story of an investigation and what organizations were involved in that investigation, and how literally 18,000 law enforcement agencies that exist in this country work together on a regular basis, a daily basis, to solve crimes. Kids will love that. Right behind me sits a U.S. Park Police helicopter that was utilized in a heroic rescue of 5 victims of an Air Florida crash in 1990, an airplane crash that crashed into the 14th Street Bridge. Correct, that was 1982. 70-plus victims were tragically lost their lives. 5 were saved via this helicopter behind me and the pilot and co-pilot that so heroically flew that helicopter on that day. Visitors will hear that story, see the story in terms of a video, and see the actual helicopter. Lots of touch-me type of exhibits that people will enjoy in our museum.
Dave, we only have about 30 seconds, but there's an underlying theme here. It's going to strengthen the relationship among law enforcement with the communities. Is that right?
Absolutely, and I say that based on the conversations, the dialogue, the education, the inviting of different perspectives from all of our visitors, what they think, what they've experienced, what their opinions are about law enforcement, and how we can all come together and shape for the future a stronger bond between the communities and law enforcement around the country.
Thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate your time, and good luck with the opening.
Thank you, Scott, Kara. Hope to see you Saturday.
All right.
Thank you. Well, again, the National Law Enforcement Museum opens tomorrow in Washington, D.C. It's located in the Motorola Solutions Foundation building at Judiciary Square. The website is lawenforcementmuseum.org.